Hey men, Todd with Empowered Men Coaching. How you doing today? I am visiting my son in El Salvador. I'm in San Salvador, and it's a beautiful day here. And I wanted to talk to you today about your relationships at work, specifically how you're managing your communication upwards and downwards. So I deal with clients, I deal with men at work, in their careers, navigating how they show up and what they do, how they express themselves, how effectively they communicate, how well they define their boundaries, hold people accountable. And so really what comes up are two things. One is the effectiveness of your communication. Are you clear? Are you laying it out to your employees, to those that report to you, exactly what you want them to do or what your expectations are? And are you holding them accountable for achieving it? Like if they miss the goal, if they miss the deadline, what happens? How do you respond? What do you do? I work with men who are great men. They're super guys, right? And they're very nice. And they are very prone to take accountability for anything on their shift, on their watch, that they're responsible for, and own up to it, above them. And sometimes they lack holding those below them accountable for performance and expectation. And so I just want to talk about that. Communication works best when you can outline your expectations, agree on the goal, agree on what's going to happen, and you hold the person accountable for what they're going to be doing, okay, for the performance or what they achieve. So then managing upwards, what happens are, give them a shade here, what happens is about boundaries, right? How effectively are you communicating upwards and laying out what needs to happen, what resources you have, what's going to happen if there's changes. Again, the men I work with, when their leader, their manager says, hey, it just needs to be done, get it done, and they're like, all right, I'm going to get it done, and yet there's been changes, there's been a situation that's come up that alters timelines, they don't always effectively communicate that. And I recognize that sometimes those we work for will hold us to account. They will expect us to hit the deadline anyway. But what we can control, what you can control in that conversation is, this is the data. This is what we've got. These are the resources we have. This is the amount of time it most likely is going to take based on these conditions. And if these conditions change or something else happens, the timeline gets pushed. Now, whether the boss, the manager, the vice president, or whatever accepts that or not is a different story. But what you've done is effectively communicate the reality of what's going on. Doesn't mean you're not busting your butt. Doesn't mean you're not trying to make it happen. It just means you are communicating the facts that you're dealing with and holding yourself accountable to them. So, communicating clearly, holding boundaries of what's in your control, what you're dealing with, what you're working with, and consequences. Holding yourself accountable and holding others that report to you accountable, and following through on consequences, positive or negative, depending upon the situation. Anyway, I hope that helps you, man. I'm having a great time here in El Salvador. Just want to do this quick video at home, and I will talk to you guys later. Ciao.